Kimberly Crowe, and it's time for Crowe Clips. And this one's going to be really fast. I mean, it's going to be long, but I've got to whip through it really fast because it is the 10 mistakes that entrepreneurs often make that cause so much trouble in their lives. All right. These are things that I have made mistakes myself, and I continue to make those mistakes sometimes, and also mistakes that I've seen other people make. But these seem to be the 10 most common. So, number one is color coding your files. That is the busyness instead of the business of business. I've seen a lot of people make this mistake where they keep really, really busy. And at the end of the day, they're like, oh my gosh, I accomplished so much today. But what did they really accomplish? Did they make sales? Did they connect with clients? Did they build relationships with joint venture partners? What did they do that actually moved the needle on their business revenue wise? And that can be really, really difficult to assess and really stick to. It's one of those things where if you feel like, you sorted all your email and you put it all into nice little buckets and you created a filing system or you did a whole bunch of stuff on Excel or whatever, all of that is great, but did it actually move the needle forward on your business at all? So that is a big mistake. We call it color coding your files, meaning you're very, very busy. You're just not in your business. You're not creating new business for yourself. So that's number one. And that's going to get a lot of you. I know that in my community, there's quite a few people who get really busy with learning, and then they learn so much and they don't actually do and implement. So I talk about being an implementation ninja a lot in my trainings and teachings, and I hope you will be an implementation ninja and actually get stuff done. All right, we're going to move forward. Number two is creating boundaries around work. And what I would suggest, a lot of people are like, okay, I'm going to bolt in time for my family. Like I'm going to schedule dinner time with my kids or with my significant other, or whatever it is. And that's awesome that you do that. But I would actually suggest that you do it the other way around, that you create time for work, and that those times for work are very, very specific times, like times for sales, times for marketing, times for product creation, which should be relatively limited so that you're not just creating and not selling anything. But there should be times for that. There might be times for business planning, like taxes and things like that. So make sure that you put boundaries around when you're actually going to do those things, and then stick to when you're going to do them. The rest of the time is for your family and for fun and for enjoyment and for vacation and all kinds of stuff. Be sure to book vacation on your calendar if you haven't already. When you worked at corporate, if you ever worked at corporate, you got vacation time. If you worked full time in the US, you got some time that was relegated to just vacation. Are you giving yourself vacation? If not, you're kind of a crappy boss. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. All right. Number three, failing to create multiple streams of income. Now, this is a big one. A lot of people are like, yes, I want to be a coach. I'm going to coach people and I'm going to charge them $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 for the coaching that I'm going to give them because my coaching is very valuable. And it well may be super valuable for that. But there will be somebody that you meet that's not ready yet to pay for your $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 programs. Do you have other ways for them to purchase things from you? Are there other streams of income that you can generate for your existing business? Is there an easy yes offer between $7 and say $100 where somebody could be like, yes, I would pay that to learn a little bit more about Kimberly? Is there also something between $500 and $2,000 that they might be able to take advantage of? Maybe it's a course that you taught in the past, or maybe it's a group course that you're teaching now that you can record that later you can sell for $500 or a smaller amount. That can be a level that people can join and be able to participate with you without feeling like they have to spend that big check right out of the gate because they may not know you well enough. Do you have a membership that people can belong to where they can join maybe a Facebook group or something like that? Maybe it's $9 a month, maybe it's $20 a month, but that's recurring revenue that comes to you every single month. And then you just drop in content to that membership group so that people can get value out of it, but then they keep paying and then you can have that ongoing revenue that you can count upon going forward. All right. So creating multiple streams of income. Next, number 4, trying something once and then quitting. I've done this a couple of times, and a lot of the folks that I know do this as well. They try something and they're like, okay, I tried Facebook ads, but that didn't work. Oh, I tried running a summit, but that didn't work. Oh, yeah, I tried getting on a podcast, but that didn't work. All of these things, they all work. You just have to get good at them. And to get good at them, you have to do them repeatedly. You have to try something once and then try it again and then refine and then try it again and then perfect it and then try it again and get really, really good at it. So trying once and then quitting is a huge mistake that entrepreneurs make. That's number 4. Number 5 is not having a mentor. That's right. We all need mentors, coaches, if you will. If you are a coach and you are charging for coaching, but you don't have a coach, man, beware. Like if you don't value coaching for yourself, then how are your clients going to value coaching for them? right? Hopefully you are getting a mentor as well. So make sure that you are using the mentor to the best of your abilities. And when you pay for a mentor, make sure that you're using and taking action and implementing and doing all the things. All right. So making sure that you hire a mentor, that you connect with a mentor that really can help you. I often use the example of high-end sports athletes. They don't even just have one coach. They might have a batting coach and a catching coach, or they might have a pitching coach, or they might have a whole bunch of different coaches, right? They might have coaches that help them in a variety of different things. As a speaker, you might have a vocal coach. You might have a person who's helping you create your online course. You might have a coach that's helping you with stagecraft and being able to connect with people on stage. You might have a coach that's helping you do a podcast. There could be a variety of coaches and mentors that you hire to do a little bit better at your job. All right, number 6, failing to take action. That's right. This is like waiting for the perfect time, right? Where you're thinking, okay, I'm going to get out on those podcasts. I know I need to be booking 2 podcasts a week, and I'm going to start doing that. But first, I'm going to get the perfect title, and then I'm going to get the perfect audience so that I know what my avatar is. And then I'm going to get the perfect offer, and then I'm going to get the perfect dress. And when you try on the perfect dress, you realize that you need to lose 10 pounds first, and then you lose 10 pounds, and then your dress doesn't fit anymore. So you got to get a perfect dress, and then your hair doesn't look right. And so you're doing all the things that are making you avoid actually taking action. But what happens is when you take that first action, when you step onto the podcast for the first time, it's not perfect. That's right. It's not a perfect, like one and done, usually. It usually takes multiple times for you to be able to get really good at something. So don't wait, try it, start, grab the mic and actually take the action and do the thing. Launch the course, try the challenge, make phone calls to your potential clients and get the no's, get the people that say, no, that wasn't quite right. Or maybe it would have worked better if you did this, or all of those things, so that you can improve along the way. Because nothing is going to be perfect. Not very many things are going to be perfect on the very first try. So that's number 6. Number 7 is failing to build a team. Now, this one was really important for me. When I worked at corporate, I had a team of HR people, I had a team of legal people, I had a team of salespeople, I had a team of people who were looking into advertising. I had all kinds of different teams that were supporting us in different ways. I had an IT team, right, that would help if our computers broke down. And when you're a solopreneur, you're doing it all yourself. But eventually, you need to hire a team. I have a whole other video on that, but I recommend getting on the road to joy. If you relish it, keep doing it. If you don't, you need to outsource it, automate it, or delete it. And that spells out road, ROAD. And you guys can check out that video. Maybe we can put a link to it in the comments or something like that. So definitely build a team and make sure that if you're really good at doing Facebook and be really good at that, and then get a team to help you out with some of the other stuff. Like I can't even spell Instagram. I don't even know how to do that, right? Like get somebody who knows how to do that and have them do the stuff that you're doing on Facebook, just have them import it into Instagram and make it double use, right? Have a team around you that can support you. You cannot do this alone. You got to have help. So build a team. And none of the superstars really out there in the world are a one-man show. They're not like a one-trick pony. They're not. They are out there and they're working hard, but they've got a team supporting them. So you need a team as well. Number 8, not knowing your numbers. Now, this one's really hard because people are like, la, 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 la. I do not want to know my numbers because I know they're not good. But you got to learn to love your numbers because there's a chance that each month you're going to improve, right? So if you don't know your numbers, you don't know if you're improving or not. In addition, there's 3 numbers that you really need to look at. One that everybody talks about is revenue. Oh, I had $100,000 month. Oh, I had a $10,000 month. I made $1 million this year. And that's great. But that's revenue, ladies and gentlemen. That is not profit, right? That's not what went into their bank account. It's usually revenue, the number that they're talking about. If you sell a $25,000 program, awesome you. But $25,000 may or may not go directly into your bank account. You may have expenses beyond that, right? You may have to pay for software, your mailing software, your website software. You may have a CRM that you have. You may have paid for courses or programs. You may be hiring a mentor. You may be hiring a team. All of those things are costs that are associated with your business. So there's 3 numbers that you really need to look at. Number 1 is revenue. Of course, we want revenue. That means you're making sales. It's a great thing. Number 2, which is the bottom line, is profit. That's what goes into your bank account. That's what you can spend. That's what you made at the end of the day. And then the middle line in there is actually called gross margin or gross profit. And that is the cost of goods sold away from your revenue. So you got revenue here, but then because you made that sale, what did you have to spend directly on making that sale? So if you have a course that you're teaching, did you have to print workbooks for that course? What is it that you actually had to spend money on in order to get that client? Did you have to have a Zoom account? What did you have to do in order to get that client? And then there's just the general costs that take out after gross margin. Then you have the general costs that are like rent that you're going to have to pay whether you have a client this month or not. But there are some things that you have to pay only because you've made a sale. So those three things, which is revenue, gross profit, and profit, are all very important for you to know. So do know your numbers. Take a look at them. I encourage you to take a look at them every month at least, and certainly every year, because you're definitely going to want to be able to talk to your tax person and let them know what you made in those categories. Number 9, listening to naysayers. When people are in your family, they may not understand what you do. I know a lot of my family members and my friends did not understand what I was doing when I launched my own business. And that's fine. They're wishing you well. They're hoping that things go well for you. But then as the years and months roll on, then things get a little bit more dicey for them. And they're like, what is it that you do again? And shouldn't you get a real job? And are you sure this is right? And do you have health insurance? And all those questions that are like, oh my gosh, like stressing you out, right? So while they may have really good advice, what you need to do is take advice from your mentors, people who are in the business with you, as opposed to people on the outside that are just wishing you well and trying their best to help you, but they don't understand your business. And so then they start naysaying and saying things like, oh, that'll never work, or are you sure you should be doing that? Or why don't you just get a real job, and those kind of things. So listening to the naysayers is mistake number 9. And I know a lot of folks, even in their intimate, close family, their significant other may not understand what they do. So no need to listen to the naysayers. Just have the confidence that you got out here to do a mission, that you're on purpose. And as long as you're on purpose, you're doing good in the world. And number 10 is be authentic. That's right. Be authentic. Be you. Be the normal you that you normally are all the time. I know that when we have mentors or when we buy programs, they say, oh, just do it this way or just do it this way. And while that way may have worked for them, you may have to tweak it so that it works for you, so that it works for you in your world, so that you can be authentically you. If you don't, and you show up as somebody else, like say, for example, I tried to show up as Gary Vee, or I tried to show up as Tony Robbins, right? They all are very successful in their own rights in ways which I would like to be successful. However, they're not me, right? So if I try to show up as them, then when somebody buys something from me, they're expecting them, not me. And that's going to be really hard to live up to on an ongoing basis. So 2 reasons not to show up as somebody else. 1, it's not going to show up as you authentically. And 2, everybody else is taken already. So why not just show up as you? You're the only one that's not taken. Why not show up as you? It'd be totally awesome. All right, so that's me. I'm Kimberly Crowe. Those were your 10 most common mistakes that entrepreneurs make. I hope it was helpful for you and a good reminder for me along the way. We'll see you next time. This has been Crowe Clips. Cheers.